In this tutorial, you will learn how to unfurl and adjust the jib. For the jib, we use jib sheets to pull the sail out on either side. Remember to use the pause button if you need more reading time. Steer the boat on a course of about 330 degrees, so the wind is coming over the starboard bow. Engage the autopilot. Make sure you have some speed from sail or engine. First, you will need to release the furling line. Open the furling line jammer, which will allow the whole jib to unfurl. Now select the port jib sheet. Wrap the jib sheet around the winch. That's the winch button, then the third button from the top. Pull the jib sheet by dragging down on the drag spot. Now jam the jib sheet using the self-tailing mechanism. Click the winch button, then the second button from the top. Now turn further away from the wind, so the wind is coming over your starboard beam. Engage the oar. Click on the button shown to see the telltales. You will need to let the jib out a little. To release the jib sheet, take the sheet off the self-tailing mechanism so it's wrapped around the winch. That's the winch button, then the third button from the top. Now drag up on the drag spot until the jib telltales are roughly horizontal. Jam the jib sheet into the self-tailing mechanism when the sail is as you want it. click on the winch button, then the second button from the top. You have completed this tutorial. Sail or motor to the next training buoy for tacking and jibing. In this tutorial, you will learn how to tack and jibe safely. We will start with a tack. Before continuing, make sure your mainsail is up and jib is out. Steer a course so that you are close hauled on a heading of 300 degrees. Engaged, make sure both crew members are at the aft winches. You can click a winch twice to summon a crew member. Ensure that both jib sheets are wrapped around the winches but are not jammed by the self-tailing mechanisms. Check there are no boats close by, which may be in your path when you steer to starboard. To tack, you will be turning the bow through the wind, releasing the port jib sheet, and taking in the starboard jib sheet. In real life, you would need to tell the crew when to act. Steer to starboard until the wind is 35 to 40 degrees off your port bow. As the bow comes through the wind, start pulling the starboard jib sheet. The crew member on the port winch will release and control the port jib sheet as long as it isn't jammed. Once you've tacked, you may find it easier to engage the autopilot. The starboard crew member can now adjust their jib sheet if necessary. Often in real life, the crew member releasing their sheet will take the sheet off the winch completely. If you do take the sheet off the winch, you still need to control it by maintaining a little tension. Otherwise, the line will end up wrapped all around the rigging. When jibing, the mainsail will be fully powered up, so needs to be controlled by bringing the boom into the middle of the boat first. The main sheet traveller should be centred and secure. Traveller adjustment is not available on this version of esail. Try and maintain speed as the stern comes through the wind to reduce sudden heeling with the steering pulling to the windward. Be ready to steer with opposite lock and to ease the main sheet rapidly to keep control of the boat. You have completed this tutorial. Sail or motor to the next training buoy for reefing. Too much sail area causes excessive heeling, which is uncomfortable, unsafe, and reduces the boat's speed. Appropriate reefing reduces the sail area to get the best performance from your esail boat. In this tutorial, you will reef the sails to about 2/3 of their normal size, suitable for moderate wind speeds. You will do this by partially furling in the jib and using the first reefing line on the mainsail. Before going any further, make sure that the mainsail is fully raised and the jib is fully out. Let's start by reefing the jib. On the starboard aft winch, make sure a crew member has the jib sheet wound around the winch, but not jammed. This will stop the line flapping and wrapping around the rigging. Now select the jib furling line and haul in until the jib is about 2/3 of its full size. You can orbit the boat while hauling to get a better view. Once you're happy with the size of the jib, jam the working jib sheet using the self-tailing mechanism. Now bring both crew members to the forward winches. Make sure the main sheet and kicking strap jammers are open so the boom can move freely. Check that the topping lift is tight and jammed. Pick up the mainsail halyard. Put a turn around the forward port winch. Open the halyard jammer. Lower the mainsail about halfway down the mast. Now pull reefing line 1 on the forward starboard winch. Keep hauling until the line stops moving. Now pull the mainsail halyard. Haul until the line stops moving and you get a message from the crew saying another line is preventing further movement. At this point, the mainsail should be about 2/3 of its normal area. The yellow first reefing line is stopping the mainsail going any higher. close the halyard, main sheet and kicker jammers and tighten the main sheet and kicking strap. If you need to further shorten sail, furl the jib so that it's 1/3 of its normal size, and use reefing line 2 to reduce the mainsail even further. You have completed this tutorial. Motor or sail to the next training point for lowering the sails.